Hello traders, welcome back to another episode of Greenback Riders where we are going to discuss what are the support resistances for tomorrow and what are the possible moves that we can have tomorrow. Tomorrow being the 24th of October 2024. Before we start, as always, if you're liking the content of these videos, please like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and click on the notification icon. I would like to announce again that on Sunday, October the 27th, we are going to have a session on Dow theory. If you want to join that session, the link to the Google Meet is given in the description below. Let us now get back to the monthly chart. Now looking at the monthly chart, if you see, we went below this 5830 area and after that we came down to the 5800s. However, we recovered after that and we have closed above this 5830 area. We actually went up to the 5840 area where the RTH session actually closed. So at this point of time, we have a deeper pullback into the monthly chart, but the monthly chart is still green. The monthly chart actually turned red today, but it proved to be a false breakout and we went above this 5830 line again and we actually went up to the 5840 area as well. So based on the monthly chart, the lines are not changing as of now. We will continue to see tomorrow if we are breaking down this 5832, 5830 once again. If it breaks down, it will come down to the 5813 to the 05 region. And then the next monthly support will be at the 5722. And this can be possible if we are breaking down the low of today and we continue to go down further. Apart from that, there is no other information that we have on the monthly chart at this point of time, except the fact I will actually mark the 50% of the monthly line, which is at 5823.25. So with that, let us now go and take a look at the weekly chart. Now, all the charts that we will be discussing right now, the read-only link to them is available in the description below. Along with that, you will also find the link to our free Discord server as well as the Facebook page, and you are very welcome to join there. On the weekly chart, we broke down the 5850, we broke down the weekly trend line support at 5850, we came down to the next area of support at 580201, and we have bounced from there. We have taken out this 23 to the 30 area once again, and we closed somewhere near the 5838 line. So now tomorrow we will have to see if the price continues to come down and we are breaking out of this 582223 region again, and then we are continuing to come down again into the 5808, break down the 5800, break down this weekly trend line support once again, and then we will see whether the price is able to go down further. If the price is coming down further, I will look for somewhere around 5791 to 5783 for the price to take support. If the price does not take support there, then we will come down to this particular line, which is at 5761, and below that we can come to this 5745. And if we are breaking down 5745, we will be mostly coming down to this 5726 line once again. And below that, we will come to this particular support at 5720. And then we will see if we are breaking the price further down. Now, again, if we go back to the ATR once again, the last week's ATR ended at around 111 points or 110 points. So at this point of time, counting from the high, we have already done the 113 points at this point of time. So as long this low is not taken out, there will be no more traction by the bears at this point of time. And it is highly possible that the price will take out this 5850 and the 5865 area or the 70 area actually and continue to go up to the high. However, I am thinking that the 5854 to the 5850 area will again provide some kind of resistance and the bears will try to bring down the price again. So we will see where the price opens up tomorrow morning, and based on that, we can take that decision. So at this point of time, we can say that the bears are still in control as long as we keep this 5850 open for the bears and the price keeps on coming down after that once again. I am still thinking that the area 5850 to 5854 will have some kind of resistance based on this particular weekly chart. So that is all that we have on the weekly chart right now. Let us now take a look at the daily chart. Now, looking at the daily chart, if you remember, this was the mother bar that we were in. We broke down the mother bar. We came down to the 50% extension. We came down even below that. And then we took out the 50% extension once again. We went above the 33%, the 26%, and we are at this 11% extension right now, the 5843 line. So if it keeps on going above the 5843 line, we can get back to the 5850, which was broken down. After that 5850, the next target will be the 5856. 58.87, the 58.64. Once this 58.64 area, the 64.75 area is taken out, at that point of time, there will be a possibility that will get above this 5870 and come to this 5884 line once again. Now, we also need to remember that there is that trend line that we have on the hourly chart. So the price may actually go up to the trend line, touch that, and then start dumping back down once again. However, if we can get above the 7.3 line and hold it, there is a higher possibility that we will be able to get to this 9.5 area and higher once again. One more thing that happened was we got below the daily EMA and we have bounced back up. So we will keep an eye on the daily EMA as well, which is at 5831.5 at this point of time. So if we are breaking down this 5831, 5830 area, we can again come back to this 5821 to the 19 area. Below that, we can see 5816. And if we are breaking this 5816 out, we will come to this 5811 to the 5800 lines once again. And if that breaks down, we may actually come and touch this particular trend line. The daily trend line will be at the 5792 to the 93 area. So that is why on the higher time frame, I was hoping that the 5795 to the 5783 area can have bulls and make the price bounce once again. But if that does not happen, we will come down to the 5785, which will complete the 1:1 of this particular mother bar to the downside. Now for the upside tomorrow, I would like to see that the price is getting above the 5850 level at least, and then we are holding above the 5854. Then we can start going towards the 5860 to the 64 area. Above that, we can get to the 71 to the 72 area or the 73 area. And if we are able to get above the 76 area at that point of time, this daily trend line resistance will now be taken out, and we can get to the 86 to the 93 area, and we can continue to the upside after that. Now the daily ATR ended at 64 points today. So if the price opens right here where it closed and it wants to come down 64 points to the downside, that will bring us very close to our measured move target on the daily chart and to this 5777 area or the 5777 to the 72 area, which is another support area. And from there, we can see another 20-30 point bounce once again. At this point of time, I will also keep this particular line here, which is at the 615 to the 17 area, which will be again this particular daily trend line support if the price decides to come down tomorrow. And if we are breaking this down, we may actually come down to the low of the day and then break down from there once again. However, if we are trying to open up here and then we are trying to do 60 points to the upside, that will again bring us up to the 5902 area once again. Then we will see if the price wants to break out of the 5912, get to the 5907 and then to the 14 area, and then we can reach the 88 and break out of the 88 and get to the targets that we already know is there. So that is all the information that we have currently on the daily chart. Let us now get into the intraday 4-hour chart. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, after we had this new high above this trend line, the price actually did the first leg down, we pulled back up, and then we got the second entry short, and that is where the huge second leg happened and came down to the 5800 area. This was the breakout area at 5804. We came below that, immediately recovered, and we are around the 5840 at this point of time. But what we need to remember is this was the previous wedge line. This may go and hit this wedge line and get rejected. If we can get above this 585354 area, we will come somewhere between the 62 and the 60 area. And if we continue to get above this, at that point of time, our next target will be the 5873. And if we are taking out this 5873, we can get over this 4-hour EMA. We can again come back to this 86 to the 89 area. Now, we do not know at what point of time the price will be able to come and catch up with this particular trend line, but there may be bears present again on this particular trend line, and especially in this 5890 to the 5885 area. And that may again try to sell the price down to the low of the 5860 or to the 5850s. Now, we also need to remember that this is just the first entry long that is happening after this new low. So even if the price goes up, this being a very tight channel, the price may actually want to come down back to the 58.22 or to the 58.18 areas once again. Now, there is a reason for that, which we will take a look at once we look at the 5-minute chart. However, if by tomorrow morning we get a very good 2EL on the 4-hour chart, which sits above the 5854 area, I will be very interested in buying that. And we will see if the price is able to take us to the 74 line and then maybe to the 87 line. And then we will see if we are trying to break out of this. We had the one attempt, we have second attempt, third attempt, 4 attempts to break out of this trend line. And finally, the price broke down. But now we will see if the price can do a 2 to 3 legged move based on the 4-hour chart and we can get above this particular trend line line and try to reach the highs once again. But then these are the different levels that we know will continue to act as resistance. So we will have to make sure that we are getting above those levels, and then only those plays on the upside will become possible. So again, the lines on the 4-hour chart are not changing that much. Just the fact that this 5801 will continue to be the low of the day. So this 5804 to 5801 may again contain some bulls at this point of time, and we will mark that with a green box right here. And if we are breaking this down, our next target will be 5794. That will be a shallow target, but actually the deeper target will be in the 5781 area. And then we can come down to the 5773 to the 66, and then finally to the 58 to the 56 area. And then we will see if we are falling farther back down. However, this was a big day today. So I am actually expecting some kind of TR move tomorrow, and we can form an inside bar. And then we will see if the price is actually breaking out by the end of the week, or we are coming down back again and closing the week as a big bearish bar. So that is all the information that we have on the 4-hour chart. Now let us take a look at the 1-hour chart. So now looking at this 1-hour chart, this has been a very tight channel that has come down in the 1-hour chart, right? This was the last wedge that held, and we fell below that. We fell pretty much below that, and then we recovered back again, and we are back inside this particular expanding triangle once again. And we know that the midpoint of the expanding triangle is somewhere in the 85 to the 86 area. So it is possible that the price can actually get up above these levels from the 48 to the 53 area. We can get up to the 61 area, and then we will see if we are continuing the move up to come and touch this particular trend line on the top. If we are counting the legs on the downside from this particular high, this was the first leg down, and this was the straight second leg down that we had. So I'm expecting there might be some bears again between the 65 and the 58 area. So if the price comes up here, goes a little bit above the EMA and falls back down again below the EMA strong, then the price may actually try to come back to the bottom of this channel once again. Also, we have to remember that this is the 1 EL on the hourly chart. This is the first entry long that is happening. So there is a possibility that we will pull back, and the pullback may actually be pretty deep, and after that we may get a second EL in the morning. And if that happens inside this particular expanding triangle, that may actually give you a very good reason to get long again, and try to see that if you can at least get to the 1-hour EMA. Now what I'm thinking is there has been 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, so almost 14 to 15 bars will be there before we touch the EMA once again. So there is a possibility wherever the EMA is at that point of time, there will be bears again above the EMA who will try to sell. So we will have to be very careful around the areas when we are coming and touching the 1-hour EMA or the 4-hour EMA. The market has recovered, but I think this 58.61 or the 58.50 areas will provide some kind of resistance once again and try to sell the price back down. Now, if we are getting above the 75 line, again, as we talked on the 4-hour chart, there is a possibility that we will come back to this double top, which is at 58.81. I will keep a line marked here right now because this has worked to be a very important area. If we are getting above this, we can get to this 1888 to the 90 area, and then 94, and then we will see if we are getting to the 5902 and then to the levels farther up. So based on all these analysis, we will come back again tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. EST for the pre-market plan. If you want to join that pre-market call, then the link to the Google Meet is given in the description below. Let us now take a look at the RTH 5-minute chart. Now looking at the RTH 5-minute chart, we have this particular gap open from 5890 to the 5874 area. So that is why I was saying on the 1-hour time frame that if we see that we are taking out the 7475 area and we are holding that, then at that point of time there will be a possibility to come back to this 82 to the 83 line. And if we are breaking out of that, we are breaking off out of that particular 1-hour or 4-hour trend line that we have, then there is a possibility that we will come back to the 5890. And actually we can go and touch this 5895 to the 5898 area as well, because this was a very bad signal bar that started the short. This will be a very strong area of sell again from the 5901 to the 5902 area. But if we can take this out, we know that there are levels that the bulls can reach on the upside. On the downside, again, I will be looking at this 58 to the 60 area and the 50 to the 54 area as well for bears to be present there. Now if the bears are present there at that point of time, they will again try to bring the market down. And there is a possibility that we will bring the market down to the 5807 to the 5800 levels. But that will happen only when after we are getting down from this 5833, 5826, 5821, 18, etc. Now, the reason for which I am saying that the price may actually come back down here is the same reason based on which we are saying that the price may actually come up here. So we will have to see whether the price goes up back there before it comes back down here, right? That the reason for which I'm saying that the price may come back down here, because the bears may be trapped here. This is a very bad signal bar from which the price actually started moving up. As we saw, we had just the one EL on the upside. There is a possibility that the price may come down on the 1 hour chart or on the 4 hour chart, mitigate these bears, and then the price will give us a 2 EL to the upside, which we can take and keep riding maybe till the top once again. Again, the lines on the 5-minute chart are also not changing, because we have followed exactly the same lines that we had as of yesterday. So we are not going to change any of these lines here today. And tomorrow morning, we will be back and we will see where the price is opening up, and then we will plan for the day. So that is all the analysis I have for now. I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. EST. Till then, have a great night, everyone. Bye.